questions to ask, right? A campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Yo, big up everyone. Hope you're well. It's your boy Rich, and I'm here for the Leeds preview. On my ones. Now everyone else obviously is busy doing other things. JC's on holiday as well. So yeah, I'm here to bring you the Leeds preview. Now, let's get right into it. Obviously, this is now Roy's second game. Looking back at the first game, phenomenal performance. The emotions were all over the place, obviously, because we've gone from a first half where, like I said, we had 20 shots, 5 on target, 4 off target, 11 blocks. Incredible. Like they were defending for their lives, to be fair, Leicester. And it's not anything that I would say that we would have expected, especially as a Roy team. But then on the flip side, you could say, listen, this is probably the best team that Roy's had to work with, Palace-wise as well. So, you know, it was just incredible to see. Obviously, I mean, Leicester's finish was incredible, to be fair to Pereira. But it was kind of like the one defensive lapse I think we had all game. And then, obviously, Eze scoring, Everson on goal, but that goal coming literally like minutes after they scored, I think that was very key. Had it gone like, say, 10 to 15 minutes, it might have been nervy. It might have been a bit like, this ain't going to be one of our day. Because we thoroughly deserved to win. As much as Brendan Rodgers, who has now obviously been sacked, was like, no, I don't think we deserve to lose. You got thrashed. They got thrashed. And obviously the absolute scenes when Mateta finished. And fair play to Ayew and Mateta, to be fair. You know, Mateta's first touch was incredible. You know, and then the composure to slot it home. And it's just giving us a bit of belief, you know, like, as I was saying in the past, I feel like Roy's obviously giving the players a lift, no matter how we're feeling about the Vieira sacking and stuff, because it still obviously divides opinion, even with fans outside of the Palace fan base, it divides opinion, but Roy's giving the players a lift. Eze looked unbelievable, like he's back to his old self and such, but listen, we're not out of this relegation battle yet, but that win was so key, you know, because we're now moving into a very, very difficult game, I'd say, at Elland Road. Obviously, check out the Tactical, JC and Dan do an excellent job. I was honoured to be involved in that as well, you know, and just obviously that was, as we were doing the recording for Tactical, the Leeds Nottingham Forest game was on, and we could see, obviously, how Leeds play and such. So, you know, it kind of smoothly moves on to this topic about, obviously, both teams, we both changed our manager. Obviously, Leeds changed theirs before we did. And they kind of turned their fortunes around with Javi Gracia, where their press is back. Like, I think they've kind of, I wouldn't say adopted a Bielsa style, because Bielsa is Bielsa, in it, but maybe, I don't know if it's just because it was not in Forest, but they did look good. They did look good on that press, and the overloads that they create was very interesting. And I think that's something that we have to make sure that we bear in mind. You know, so I mean, a lot has been made over the last couple of weeks with all the teams down at the bottom about, like, is it a good time or not to change manager? And I think Leeds fans will probably say, yeah, listen, we've done it at the right time and we're reaping the benefits of it, you know. Obviously, I think Leeds, like I said, their home form's pretty decent, to be fair to them. The crowd really get behind them, you know, and they make Elland Road a difficult place to go. I mean, they also, last week, I know they lost 4-1 to Arsenal, but for the first half, I think they played very well. Played extremely well in the first half. So, yeah, once again, it's literally like, you know, I wouldn't call it a new manager bounce, but the effect a new manager can have on the team and the morale in the camp. It's clear to see they've had it with Grazia. We had it in that first game against Leicester, but it has to continue. It has to continue, you know. And just looking at the thoughts on the game, in all fairness, it's going to be a tough game. I predict a draw. I predict a draw, but we have to be very switched on with their wide players. I believe Nonto's back as well, which doesn't help. You know, whether it's Ward or Klein, whoever it is that gets the nod against either Nonto or Sinistera, you know, or it could even be both of them could be playing on either flanks and then Harrison the 10. We don't know, but they need to be switched on, and especially with Firpo and Ayling. Now, as much as they're not the greatest defensively, they are much better going forward, you know, and it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. I think we might even have to count. Either we decide to press or we counter. We have to do one or the other. I think if we try to kind of be in the middle ground, we might get picked off, you know. So it's something obviously RHEA will definitely be working on with the side and how best to obviously navigate this game, you know. And you know, I would like us to be bold and brave, you know. I think we've got to really win our home games and then see if we can pick up draws or wins with our away games. You know, I think either way, one of our two teams will be 12th, most likely, by the time that game finishes. But it all depends on tomorrow's fixtures. Obviously, time of recording is currently Friday afternoon. And this may actually be released on Saturday, so bear that in mind. But for Saturday's fixtures, and there's some huge fixtures down there as well, there may not be much change in the league table. We just have to wait and see. Attacking wise, we have to be very mindful, like I said, that the midfield battle will be tough, but our joy will be attacking their fullbacks, I believe, which brings about a massive question as to who plays left wing for us. Obviously, it's a shame not having Wilf there, because I think he would have given Ayling a tough time. Jordan did well when he came on last week, driving. I think he needs to do that more often. He's very inconsistent with it, but he drives more inside than he doesn't really go on the outside and stuff. And I think we're going to need someone to go down the outside, you know, to really take Ayling out of the game. So it'd be very difficult. I don't know who I'd want to start, because there'll be a case for many of the players. Edouard maybe, and then put Mateta up top or Ayu up top. Could be a case where it's Schlapp, and then we bring in a Will Hughes or Lokonga into the middle. It's a difficult one because we've never really had that left wing spot sort of like there's no backup basically, you know. And we're just gonna have to just navigate that as best we can. But as long as we get at their fullbacks, I think we'll get something out of this game. Also put pressure on their centre backs. They are prone to a mistake. Meslier sometimes is prone to a mistake, although he's a decent keeper, you know. So yeah, maybe if we employ a more pressing phase, I think that's where we might get our joy and such. But we have to be switched on defensively with our fullbacks, especially because they've got some very, very, very tricky wingers, and also defensively, as much as Bamford may not score many goals, his link-up plays is pretty decent and stuff. And then I think they've got Rodrigo back as well. So they're going to be obviously up for this as well. They're going to have a lot of their players back. Players always seem to come back against us. But yes, we will need to be switched on for the full 95 minutes, 100%. We've been fortunate to get a clip from a Leeds fan, Charlie from Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. So he's going to share his thoughts on it. And it'd be interesting to see in the comment section below, what's your thoughts on what he says as a Leeds fan and his perspective on the game on Sunday.
Hello everybody, it's Charlie here from the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone is doing well. Sorry that I couldn't join you live, but I just thought I'd jump on and just give a little brief preview for Leeds United against Crystal Palace from the Leeds United perspective, I guess. So, obviously, yeah, this is a very huge game for both teams. I am very confident going into it, I can't lie, especially after our win the other night against Nottingham Forest at Elland Road. And yeah, you might think beating Forest isn't all that big of a deal, but we've actually got a terrible record against Nottingham Forest of late. I think prior to Tuesday night, we'd only beat them, was it twice in 16 games? So not the best record against them. They absolutely hate us as well, so it was good to get one over on them. But it wasn't just the 3 points on Tuesday that made me, ecstatic. It was the performance that came along with it. I felt we absolutely dominated them. It should have been 4 or 5-1, but obviously same old Leeds in terms of that clinical edge. I think Leeds can score goals. We're very capable, but I think in certain moments, I think we try and walk the ball into the net rather than just having a simple shot on goal. But in terms of Crystal Palace, can't lie, I had a little chuckle when I heard that Roy Hodgson was going back there. If that was my club, I wouldn't be overly impressed by it. Obviously, I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know if it's a good appointment for you. I get that he knows the club and he had a good spell at Palace the last time, but the guy's an old age pensioner at the end of the day. And look, I know you beat Leicester, but a 94th minute winner against Leicester, it was literally about to be a draw. So I'm not reading too much into that, in all honesty. From what I've seen of Palace so far this season, I think, look, you are a good side. Obviously, at the minute, you're the best side in this relegation battle. I think the win against Leicester doesn't completely rule you out of going down, but in all honesty, I don't have Palace or Leeds United to go down. I think my bottom 3 is probably Southampton, Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest at the minute. I think Forest will be in free flow. Their fixtures are shocking, but I think Palace have actually got quite a decent run in towards end of season. So I think you'll definitely pick up enough points. But yeah, I thought Patrick Vieira was slightly hard done by to get sacked. I get that you might feel differently because it's your club and the run you guys were on was horrendous. But every time I watched you under Vieira, I thought the football was actually decent enough to watch. The difference between him getting sacked and when Marsh was sacked from Leeds is that the football we were playing was terrible to watch. And Marsh was rightfully sacked. Vieira had some tough fixtures in that run, so it's a bit 50-50 for me on if he should have got the boot. But when I heard Roy Hodgson was going back, I can't lie, I did have a little chuckle. That's not me digging Palace out. I don't have any ill feeling towards Crystal Palace. I think you're a good club with a really good fan base. And I hope you stay up. And I think Leeds and Palace will both stay up. As for this game, though, I think it'll be a tight affair. I think it'll be a harder game than what Nottingham Forest was the other night. You are without Wilfred Zaha, which I think is a huge blow for you. Yes, you've got, Elise and Eze and is it Mateta, up top, and Edouard as an attacking line, and Ayew, of course, but I don't know. I think a lot of your attacking play goes through Wilf Zaha, so I'm buzzing that he's out for this one, in all honesty, because I think he would have given Luke Ayling a very tough afternoon. But yeah, I think our performance the other night was one of the most complete performances I've seen from Leeds this season. a lot of really good individual performances from the likes of Weston McKennie, Mark Rocker, Jack Harrison, Sinistera, and Junior Firpo, who's like a different player at left back of late. So yeah, obviously, good luck for this game. Not too much good luck though, I hope. I am going with a 2-1 Leeds United win. I think we'll just edge it at Elland Road, in all honesty, and we'll be hopefully sitting comfortably in 12th in the Premier League, nosebleed territory for us. But as I said, guys, good luck for this weekend's game and good luck for the rest of the season. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see a little bit of content over the weekend regarding this game, and I'll see you in a bit, and thanks for having me on. Cheers.
Now, big up once again to Charlie. I'll get his channel's in the title and also the link in the description as well. So another thing Charlie did for us, he created a combined 11. So I'm gonna put that up for us to have a look at. Very interesting, actually. A very interesting combined 11. But here it is. So let me just remove that banner because it's in the way. There we go. So he's gone for Melee in goal. Guess you could have a slight argument for VG the way he's performed this season. Ayling right back, Anderson Gay centre backs, Firpo left back, Elise right midfield, Mark Rocker and Eze as the centre mids, Sinistera left mid, and the strikers are Rodrigo and Mateta. To be fair to him, he's tried to be very balanced. I think we've got five balanced players in there and such. So obviously, put in the comment section once again your thoughts on his combined 11. Even create your own combined 11 and put that in the chat too, in the comment section below. What I am going to do is create my own one. I'm going to create my own one for you right now. So let me just add stream. There we go. Now, yeah, I think I'll stick with 4-3-3. I think that's the best formation to do and such. Goalkeeper's tough. It's tough, but you know, I'll go Melier. I think just distribution wise, it definitely helps and stuff. But that's no slander on VG whatsoever. For right back, I'm gonna go Klein. I just think he's better than Ayling. Left back. See, Firpo attacking wise is decent and defensively not great, but Mitchell's good defensively, but not the best going forward. Gotta get my boy Mitch in there. And stuff. But you know what? Firpo's playing so much better now under Gracia than he was playing under Jesse March. So fair play to him. Yeah, I'll keep the centre backs the same. I think he's got that spot on, by the way. But I'm gonna give a shout out to Cock. I believe it's centre back called Cock. I can't remember his first name, but yeah, he's been good for Leeds this season. Right, this has to be done now. I've got to figure out. Let me change the midfield. Actually, the setup of the midfield. Actually, yeah, because I do want to get Corey in there. Remember, these are all players that are available for the game. Now, I'm torn between Rocker and McKennie. Yeah, now Rocker's been really good. I've got to give Rocker his credit. He has been good for them. And yeah, you know what? The resurgence of this young man, it just shows his class 100%. Right wing, I'm gonna go Elise. See, I don't know if Nonto's fit. He was on the bench against Forest. Man, this is tough. Because you know what, actually, I'm gonna put this one in up top already because I think he's had a very good season for them. And I think he's just coming back from injury as well. But Rodrigo's been really good. He's a good player for them. Nonto or Sinistero? Oh, this is tough. This is tough. But you know what? I'm going to give Nonto the nod. I think he's been brilliant for them all season. So let me just make sure I can decrease the screen a bit so that we can have a look at 11. So Meslier in goal, back four of Klein, Anderson, Gay, and Mitchell. So that's a Palace back four. Decore and Rocker as holding midfielders with Eze just in front, and a front three of Nonto on the left, Rodrigo in centre forward, and Luisi on the right. But like I said, shout out to obviously Eddie. I think his work rate in the last game was brilliant. And shout out obviously Sinister as well, who I think will be a problem as well if he starts on the weekend. So yeah, that's the combined 11, which leaves the predictions league. So obviously there was last weekend's games and there was the midweek games as well. So here are the results from that. Dan's been flying lately. He's been, from him and Nicky were having like a little relegation sort of battle, and then obviously Nicky had a mare and cheated and lost 15 points. Since that moment, Dan's been flying, absolutely flying. And so for the weekend games, he topped that weekend with 10 points. And they also topped the midweek games as well, getting another 2 predictions correct, spot on and such. I tell you what though, JC, you need to set some reminders. Yeah, JC's taken an L. He forgot to do his predictions, and he put his predictions in too late, unfortunately for him, which leaves the overall score amongst the EF and the guests. I'm still top of the table, 21 points clear of Dan now. So hopefully I can maintain it for at least, and then it's, I say, 5 to 6 game weeks, hopefully, and that should be able to remain champion. Obviously, Nicky he's adrift. Yeah, I think it's about time we start figuring out what the forfeit is for Nicky, because he's definitely adrift now, way behind. And that point deduction didn't help, but even since then, like, he's not been averaging the most amount of points, you know. Obviously, including the community, still top. Midge still second. But it's really that it's kind of like a massive mid-table battle from Doug all the way down to Nate. I'd say, like, it's a battle for third place. You know, very interesting there. Louis Tidy's had a decent week this week too. Obviously, once you get to the next page, it's the ones that keep forgetting to submit, but it's all good. It's all good. And don't forget, with our guests, Callum and Jack are both joint top with 10 points. What I'm going to do as well for that actually is I'll contact them both, and in the last game of the season, they'll have like a playoff, and whoever gets the most points that weekend will be crowned guest champion. Here's the mid-table battle. And our last prediction was Jack from Leicester, who it was nervy times. Boy, Patrick might have had someone to accompany him, but it was very nervy times. I think it was the last game that he did that got him there at that point there. So Patrick is still bottom, and he also will be in a forfeit at this current moment in time if it stays the way it is. But yeah, listen, that's the Leeds preview, guys. Like I said, massive game. The fact that we're playing each other, we're both down, trying to obviously survive, you know, it's going to be a massive factor. We've got to try and get something out of that game. You know, at the very least, a draw. It's not a game we should be losing, especially if results don't go our way on the Saturday. And yeah, hopefully we can just put in another performance as we did against Leicester, which I think was a phenomenal performance, you know. So yeah, hopefully Roy keeps the boys motivated. Hope he keeps them up for it, you know. And yeah, that's it from me. Obviously, guys, as per usual, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the support so far. Like I said, if you want to grab any merch, you know, the link's in the description too. To obviously support the channel and stuff. And yeah, you know what? Just keep interacting with us, especially the home games where we do our fan cams outside the fan zone. That's where you find us if you want to share your thoughts on the game as well. And yeah, big up Charlie as well for obviously sending his views on the game. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Listen, as always, it's up the palace. He goes.